Hello and welcome to episode 87 of Dorki's Entropia Universe report. I have been snoring like a chirpy mother trucker, so please excuse me if my voice happens to sound a bit weird today. By the way, I ordered a drawing tablet this weekend, so I should be upgrading the quality of my art that I sometimes make for these videos, as well as start producing new pieces more often. Now that I won't have to draw those pictures with a mouse, they should be easier to make. But please curb that hype that is certainly not starting to materialize in your head, but that I like to imagine is real. I will not start producing Mona Lisa quality paintings for my videos all of a sudden. However, I should upgrade my work from looking like an especially retarded 2-year-old made it to something you could expect out of a 5-year-old. Either way, there should be some new Entropia Universe fan art in next week's episode, provided that the drawing tablet arrives on time and actually works. And now that I laid out my untalented artistic heart to you on a platter made out of high-density common dung compound, I can give you a brief overview of what you can expect later in today's episode. I will start by sharing my thoughts on the Screecher Bird daily mission from Next Island, as I promised last week. And after that little segment, I will go over my avatar progress as well as deed and share payouts for the week. The timestamps to different segments will be in the video description as always. The video footage today will be from the Screecher Bird hunt that I did for the daily mission on the Next Island. I am not sure how long the video will be, so there may be some other stuff thrown in if I run out of bird hunting video or decide some other footage is more appropriate. Although, come to think of it, I will probably throw in some crafting and mining recordings later in the video. Either way, let's get into the Entropia Universe stuff proper now. You can find the mission NPC at the location that you can see on the map here. If you find him difficult to find anyway, the exact coordinates are visible on my radar, and I will put them in the video description as well. Anyway, he is called the Cartographer, and if I remember correctly, he gives all 3 Creature Containment daily missions. I took the Boar and Papu missions a while ago and have not completed them since. Whatever the case, you can get the Daily Screecher Containment mission from him. This mission rewards you with 15.2 ped of oil. I am sure many of you have already heard about this and might even be interested in coming over to Next Island just to farm this mission reward. But please take a brief pause to listen to what I have to say and perhaps reconsider. That mission reward truly is a nice one, but the problem is that you have to hunt down mobs worth roughly 300 to 330 ped. This would still be a worthwhile trade if you could pull out TT return good enough to profit after you get the mission reward. However, I have never been able to end up in profit from doing this daily mission, even after I counted the mission reward in my results. I did the mission only 5 or 6 times in total, so this does not mean long-term results will stay too low to profit, but you can lose a lot of ped before it starts getting better, if it actually does get better at all. I always ended up in just enough of a TT loss that those 15.2 peds of oil brought me back up to what I would normally expect out of most hunts. And that is still a loss. You might consider it to be a small one, or if you happen to be on a limited and fairly small budget, it can be a significant loss for you and could possibly cause you to be unable to keep grinding after a few days or weeks if the loot does not get better for you. For example, the run that I am showing you in today's episode ended up in more than 27 PED TT loss, and that is with the oil reward included. This mob does not have enough markup to cover those sorts of losses. I must say that this one was one of the worst hunts I've had while doing this mission. However, that does not say much, since the best result I've had was roughly 15 PED loss with the oil counted in, and it is likely that I lost few extra PED due to overkill on some mobs this time around. Anyway, the moral of the story is that these daily missions with great rewards are not there to give you profit, and they are more likely than not to cost you money. There is a reason why the place is not swamped by half the Entropia's active hunters grinding the mission all day every day. Do not get me wrong though, I like Next Island and I like these daily missions. I am just saying that you are not very likely to make a profit off of them. At least not in the short term of just a few days or weeks, and that if you are on a limited budget and these missions are the only reason why you want to come to Next Island, then you might want to reconsider that idea. Of course, if you have few thousand PED on your card and want to give it a try, then these missions might be a worthwhile experiment for you. If you can hunt the 300 male creatures required with 95% or higher TT return, then you can make a small profit doing this daily mission. Although keep in mind that these 300 mobs are divided into 3 different maturity groups ranging from small all the way up to big maturities of creatures. So you have to have the skills to use weapons suitable for hunting the bigger creatures as well. Those big ones start at 300 and go up to 360 hit points. Anyway, when you accept the mission, it will point you to a location of the wave event spawn. This is a good place to do the mission if you want to spend as little time as possible on it. Creatures will keep spawning in several waves of increasing maturities, and if you are alone there, you can complete almost the entire mission in one wave event, like I did in the footage you can see in this video. At the end of the wave event, I was left with 99 kills out of 100 on the highest maturities. I remember needing 3 kills last time I did the mission before this. So maybe the mix of maturities varies slightly between different runs at the wave event, or I am just misremembering things. Either way, you are likely to be left needing to kill few big creatures if you go the route of the wave spawner. You can also grind out the mission on normal mob spawns. However, these have a mix of male and female creatures, and only males count for the mission. So of course the natural spawns around Next Island seem to have much higher percentage of female mobs. The natural spawns approach to Screecher Containment mission will cost you more time. I am not sure what it will do to your TT return, however. Maybe it will actually give you more of a chance at profit, maybe it will make no difference at all. You would have to find out for yourself. Although I might go back and test it for a few weeks at some point in the future, if I happen to feel like doing so. Either way, finding low maturity and medium maturity creatures is not difficult. But at first I struggled to find the high maturity ones on a natural spawn. That is why I decided to cut away from my hunt at the wave spawn sometime during this segment, so that you can see me fly to the spawn where you can find the big creatures. And that is probably all I wanted to tell you about this particular mission. Sorry that I did not have the time to do it in last week's episode. Also, I will give you a short summary of this whole segment in the conclusion of today's episode. It will be just 1 or 2 sentences stating my thoughts on this mission without all the explanation and extra information that was here in this segment. And now let's go over my avatar progress and activities for the week. I spent a few days no-lifing the explosive projectiles 1 blueprint like I usually do when I do not have the time to actively play Entropia Universe. But I had more time later in the week, so I went do some semi-random crafting on Calypso that culminated in me crafting one level 7 mining amplifier and a bunch of level 3 amps, all for my own use in mining. I got the boosted blueprint for level 7 amps with 3 clicks on it while crafting some attachment gizmos, and I bought the blueprint for level 3 amps sometime last year. I only crafted them a few times so far since I usually have poopy returns using those particular amps. However, last time I made myself a load of level 2 lights, I got bored with them by the time I got through them all. And on top of that, I did not want to dish out so much markup for Belcar and basic sheet metal again. Level 3 mining amplifiers are much better in that regard. Each click takes only 5 pieces of basic sheet metal, and the rest are some of the cheapest and easiest to find resources out there, namely Listerium, Blossarium and Narcanism. So they are very cheap to craft in terms of markup, although I would not recommend crafting them if you are playing on tight budget, since each click costs almost 9 ped and you run the risk of relatively high TT loss if you do short crafts to make only a few of them at a time. Anyway, I took my newly crafted amps to Arcadia, where I made a small profit mining with them. The profit was not due to any stellar TT returns, but rather thanks to some good markup stuff that I found. Then I got depressed and buggered off to Rocktropia, where I am sweating a hater right now, as I am writing today's episode. Do not worry though, my shitty mood went away as soon as I took the pill against the migraine that was causing it. Anyway, I did do some alternative rock mining last night when I arrived here, and will likely mine through all my level 3 amps here over the next few days. And I will likely sweat haters in between my mining runs. I need to replenish my Rocktropian sweat stash a little bit, and it has been a while since the last time I skilled up my sweat gatherer profession. I am getting close to level 37 there, and perhaps I will hit it in the next week or two. By the way, I also went a bit nuts and did 10 clicks on Explosive Recycle 2 blueprint while I was on Calypso. It was a small loss. I will keep the footage from that craft for next week's episode though, and I finally went over the 362k total skills. No increase in hit points just yet though. Anyway, let's go over the Deeds&Shares payouts for the week from 18th to 25th of January 2021 now. I will start with the shares today. Crystal Palace shares paid out 2 peg per share today, and the cheapest stack available for purchase this morning was priced at 18 ped and 20 peg. Nothing surprising there, but what is surprising is that Ancient Greece shares actually paid out their 1 peg this week. This is fairly unusual since they did pay out last week as well. I would not get my hopes up just yet, but this does look like a good sign. Also, their price moved back up closer to the sale price of that original stack of shares. The cheapest stack on the market this morning was priced at 9 ped and 88 peg, but the only 2 bigger stacks other than the giant original stack were priced at 9.95 and 9.96. Let's hope that these shares keep on paying instead of reverting back to their poopy old self. When it comes to Deeds, Arcadia Moon Deeds are keeping up with their slightly improved performance. Once again, they paid out 3 times for combined total of 3 peg per deed. Their price seems to hover around 43 to 44 ped. Arcadia Underground deeds, on the other hand, paid out 7 times over the last 7 days for a combined total of 9 peg per deed, and their price still seems to be holding at about 91 ped for the week. Although I guess that someone made a costly mistake today, as the average price for the day dropped down to about 69 ped at the time I was writing this commentary. This was the average price on 134 AUDs sold. So someone either made a mistake and sold a rather large batch of them thinking they were moon deeds, or made a mistake and sold more deeds at the price of fewer deeds. Or perhaps someone had a bunch of them in storage for a long time and did not check the current markup before selling to some low-balling order on auction. I have no clue which one of those options is responsible for the sudden price drop for the day. But my favorite candidates are a mistaken identity of the deeds or a drunken player selling 50 deeds when he wanted to sell only 5. To conclude, I finally went over the 362,000 total skills, and while I spent first few days of the week AFK crafting Explo ones, I was much more active during the weekend when I crafted a whole bunch of semi-random crap while I was fishing for some boosted blueprint drops. The one boosted blueprint that I got was a wet fart though, and I only made about 30 ped profit crafting that one level 7 amp. The level 3 mining amplifier craft was nice though. All in all, the whole batch of roughly 1.4k peds worth of amps only ended up costing me some 15 ped on top of the TT value. Mining was decent as well. I hope it stays that way in the new week too. And when I distill all the talk about the Screecher daily mission on the next island down into a short and hopefully coherent sentence, it will say this. It is a nice mission that is not worth doing if you are on a tight budget of just a few hundred pets, but it is worth a try if you have few thousand pets on your card and are willing to stick to it long term and happen to end up with TT return of more than 95%. Anyway, I will be spending most of the next week mining and sweating on Rocktropia, and also hopefully learning to draw a bit better amateur art for my videos. Trying to draw something on a computer using a mouse just ain't fun, and the results are quite bad looking. Anyway, how was your loot in Entropia Universe lately? Did you do anything interesting while playing the game? Are you familiar with that Daily Screecher Containment mission and have you tried doing it already? If so, was your loot good enough to profit after the reward or was it lacking like in my case? Let me know in the comments below and thank you for watching. I hope you will have a lovely day today. Please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. Thank you.